transparency of God. That is one of the main purposes of walking on this earth, is to allow the unraveling of all the density or seeming density of opaqueness, privacy, separation by form itself. And you're walking toward transparency. Transparency is very much being a fool for love. When you have nothing that you want to hide anymore, doesn't matter what the size of the secret places are. The transparency says there's nothing here but love. There's nothing to protect, there's nothing to defend, there's nothing to explain, there's nothing. Nothing. There is a word that I saw today. I've seen the word before, darvish. A darvish in the Sufi tradition has several meanings, but one of the main meanings is the darvish is that being that owns nothing. Don't mistake nothing for poverty. It is the mind and the heart that believe it owns something. And when the mind or the heart is in that belief, it closes to protect the something, to identify with the something. But there's nothing that can be owned. And that becomes very evident when the body falls away. There's nothing to hold on to that's owned. The soul is free, spirit is free. And in that freedom, everything is free. Can't own something else that's outside you when there's nothing purposeful in the ownership. The thought of ownership actually, by its very nature, belonging to the ego, it contracts with ownership, with the thought of ownership. Everyone has looked at a new pair of shoes and been impressed, impressed at all kinds of things, but it's a sense of good work. You have shoes, but do you own them? Do they belong to you? Are they going with you when you leave the body? No. And the freedom of the heart is essential to travel lightly. And this has nothing to do with the appreciation of the material world. to appreciate the coat on your back and the recognition that it is a gift, as everything is, the gift from God, whose will for you is to always be at peace and happy. So everything that is necessary in this temporary existence of form shows up being provided, but there's no ownership. It may go tomorrow. It may stay for the whole lifetime. There's a beautiful expression about the earth, which is just the recognition that we are the stewards of the earth, which only means we take care. And we serve the earth and serve humanity with our stewardship. But the important element of that relationship is there is no ownership. It is taking care. The ego shows itself very dramatically in through ownership, but also through entitlement. The entitlement that says, if there is only one item, I want it to be mine. Entitlement. Entitlement signifies and demonstrates the belief that you were gypped, that you were unfairly treated, and that because of that, you begin to believe that there is an entitlement to being treated differently. And the pain of that is that you are the divine light of God. To be entitled as the divine light of God, you already have everything. And you are everything. And no one has done anything to change that. It's not possible. The creation of God, the perfection that God creates, cannot be harmed. It can't be changed. It can't be disturbed in truth. It is the perfection. So to seek entitlement is a lost cause when you are already everything. Entitlement has the main purpose of separation. One has, one doesn't. Getting there first. What is that feeling when you go into a store and they're having a sale and you can feel the excitement and the vibration and the anxiety that comes from making sure you want to get whatever there is to get? This mostly is not conscious, but it lives under the disguise of shopping. And if you're driving home and you didn't find the item, There's this sense of letdown because there was an anticipation of ownership. Does that eliminate going shopping or purchasing something that is a helpful item? No, it's all in the mind and the heart. It's the attachment to whatever. At some point, the transparency of your divine self has to stand in the middle of nothing, naked, and be enough, be everything. Even as the body falls away, discover the everything, the transparent everything. Transparency is so exquisitely beautiful in every aspect of it. Its honesty, truth, and in the transparency is the beautiful vibration of light. It's almost like looking at a beautifully blown glass that shimmers. The transparency is the treasure because even in its, it is transparent. It is, it is full. It is strong. It is gentle. It is everything. And it is your true nature. Allow the transparency of love to be welcomed and welcome the fool for love that has nothing to hide. And we've all hidden in every lifetime. I used to realize that I couldn't make eye contact because if you make eye contact, in my mind, it was too vulnerable, it was too connected, it would disappear. But every time you use the eyes and let the eyes connect with the heart and look with love, you see the reflection of your own spirit. You can go past the physical form and meet that vibrational oneness. And you can bring your transparency and look through and into the divine with everyone. Transparency is your beautiful reflection. When I feel this pain inside and I find nowhere to hide, Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. This sorrow now imprisons me. Somehow I need to be set. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Heal me of my hurt and fear. Reveal the face of God so near. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Safety of a mother's care. For Jesus it was always there. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Thank you for the love you give. In compassion for your son I live. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. In this moment, you can see the transparency of the Divine Mother. You close your eyes and meet that love, and the sweeping arms and the embrace becomes breathtaking. In that transparent state, becomes one. You can never be without the Divine Mother. You can never be without the Divine Father. You can never be without all divine beings. You actually live in the arms of that love. The only reason that it doesn't feel familiar is because the mind went to sleep and forgot the divine. But now it's the waking up and remembering you're always held, you're always loved, you're always safe, always. We can see the truth in your eyes. For ages you have come and gone courting this illusion. For ages you have run from the pain and forfeited the ecstasy. So come, return to the root of your soul. Although you appear in earthly form, your essence is pure consciousness. You are the fearless guardian of divine light. So come, return to the root of your own soul. When you lose all sense of self, the bonds of 1,000 chains will vanish. Lose yourself completely. Return to the root of your own soul. You descended by the word of God, but you turned your sight to the empty show of this world. Alas, how can you be satisfied with so little? So come, return to the root of your own soul. Why are you so enchanted by this world when a mine of gold lies within you? Open your eyes and come. Return to the root of your own soul. You were born from the rays of God's majesty when the stars were in their perfect place. How long will you suffer from the blows of this non existent hand? So come, return to the root of your own soul. You are a ruby encased in granite. How long will you deceive us with this outer show? Oh, friend, we can see the truth in your eyes. So come and return to the root of your own soul. After one moment with that glorious divine friend, you become loving, radiant, and ecstatic. Your eyes were sweet and full of fire. Come, return to your own soul. Soul of all souls, life of all life. You are that, seen and unseen, moving and unmoving. You are that. The road that leads to the city is endless. Go without head or feet, and you'll already be there. What else could you be? You are that. When you enter this offering, it's telling you that everywhere in the world, on this planet, and wherever else, beloveds are living as separate. But all, if one beloved takes this and sings in the heart, imagine how many beloveds are in this world singing about love. How many beloveds are yearning to come home? And how many will be following you? Contemplation is so essential, not mind thoughts, but allowing in your rest, in your breathing, to allow the divine consciousness to speak and move through your contemplation. It will show you secrets of the universe, not because it's remarkable, it can seem remarkable, but it is where you get your nourishment. That every day a little piece of truth comes and settles in your heart, something that is helpful to remember. You can look at the stars and you can allow yourself to get lost in the stardust, in the stars. And if the mind says, yeah, well, they're 10 million miles away, there are no miles in love. There is no distance. There is no time. The stars are already within you, and you are in every star. What limitation from being in a body do you apply to the truth of the universe. That's what contemplation can open, is not allowing the little mind to make the divine small, but to keep opening, opening, opening to the majestic everything of love, God. Come, return to the root of your own soul. That's what the journey is all about. That's that's the whole thing, returning to meet the divine spirit that is the oneness of all. You can't give your divine spirit any identity that comes from what you know, because your divine spirit is so beyond the little thinking of the ego mind that you have to let spirit take you, and spirit will take you to show you, to let everything open. It probably won't open in one fell swoop, but every time you go into that silent, quiet place, ask, ask for the expansion of love. Be ready to travel with the divine spirit, even if it's just for a moment, a second. It will be the miracle of miracles. You never look you'll never look at anything the same again, because everything becomes part of that exquisite transparency. You have a gift of love to bring to every moment in every situation. The gift of love. Ownership isn't just about material goods. Ownership is fear that you won't have enough. But that is one of the elements of truth that it is true through the entire universe, that God would not leave you without. The only thing that produces the feeling of being without is the ego fear. And it's had its run with everyone. But now it's time to go beyond the everyday habits and the belief of ownership. Ownership is used by the ego in relationships. You want to own another, even whether you call it a friend, whether you call it a role, cousin, but in those roles, it's an ownership that you are this to me, you have to be this to me, instead of there's only one. and there's nothing to own. Everything is free. Everything is freedom. There is such great relief and release from no longer being identified or having to own something, worried of its not staying as it is. But everybody is free as that one. There is a beautiful quote. A man should be so lost in God that a woman has to go through God to find him. And a woman should be so lost in God that a man has to go through God to find her. And a woman should be so lost in God that another woman has to go through God to find her. That is the greatest gift, is for you to be so lost in God that we all have to go through God to find you. Because God is what we're finding. And when you are lost in God, everyone who goes through God to find you is blessed and remembers God as well. Be lost in God, in the transparency of love. It's not too much. It's what all the preparation is all about. Letting go of attachments, letting go of ideas, letting go of dishonesty, letting go of everything, and coming home to love itself forever, forever. One who calls nothing his own. God bless the Darvish that leads to the exquisite relinquishment of everything.